On our way back from the Sea Life Centre on our recent Norfolk trip, I spotted a sign that said castle. So, of course, I had to convince the family to stop off. It was absolutely started to chuck it down, so they stayed in the car because they were absolutely shattered. So I had a quick look round by myself. It was only £6 to enter, and that was standard adult entry, and there's free parking and toilets. Children are £4 and concessions are £5, and it's an English heritage site. Under fives are also free. When I looked round, there was only one other family in the castle at the time, and they were leaving as I was entering. It was very eerie. As you can see, it was quite quiet around. There's nothing much. There was a tiny little guest information centre with one person in it. Some of this I'm walking quite fast because I just got a weird feeling. Some of the castle was a bit spooky. The weather might have added to that, and the day. But nevertheless, it was nice for a quick mooch around, have a little look. Anyway, this is the entrance to the castle, and say I turned left rather than going straight up the stairs when we walked in. A few facts about the castle. Castle Rising is one of the most well-known 12th century castles in the UK. Its stone keep was built in around 1140 AD, and there's a magnificent mound of earthwork surrounding it, which you could see in some of my later footage. This was below what used to be the Grand Hall, so where that barrier was, so then the well there is the basement. This is what would have been the basement below the Grand Hall. Okay, these stairs were super spooky. This is only part of them. Some of them were so dark I had to put my torch on my phone light. I was a bit reluctant to go up them, as you can see. Wasn't too keen. But it was worth it, climbing to the top of them. So this room is off of the stairs, and this does loop back to the first set of stairs at the entrance, which you saw before I turned left when we came in the castle. And this would have been the waiting room. The keep foreboding. So they would have kept guests waiting here before they were entered into the grand hall. That's looking back down to it. Anyway, one of the most famous periods in history in the castle was when it was in the hands of when it came into the hands of the mother of Edward III, Queen Isabella. Following her part in murdering her husband, Edward II, she inherited the castle, if you like to say. Again, this grand hall would have been amazing. Obviously, if you can try and imagine yourself back. I don't know how your mind works, but mine, you can try. I always get a picture of what we used to be like in my head, and when I'm walking around these sites, would have been amazing. This was a art gallery or long gallery way back when, and it also went into, these was part of the old kitchens, which would have fed all the people in the Great Hall. Having a good look around. It's very dark despite all the windows. What else was I saying? So the other thing I found quite interesting, obviously people know me, know I love my Tudor history. I found out after I visited the castle that the castle was actually still in the hands of the Howard family, and that's the famous Howard family, with the infamous Thomas Howard, the 3rd Duke of Norfolk, having received it into the family first. And this was via Henry VIII in an exchange for properties. Whether that was he was sort of forced into it by Henry VIII or not, I'm not entirely sure about that. Someone might be able to find that out for me, but I would imagine it's quite likely. So he had to exchange several properties that I'm aware of in Suffolk, and he received this property in the exchange. Yeah, so that was quite an interesting little fact I found out afterwards. Yeah, it was a really, for £6, I thought it was a really good castle to look around. If it wasn't raining and absolutely chucking it down, my kids would have been in there running around like loons, and this is a really good one. Although they would have been reluctant with the steep stairs, the spooky set of stairs as I like to call them, but yeah, if you for a picnic or in the summer, I believe they do reenactments here in the summertime. Yeah, it's on like the main coastal road in Norfolk, yeah, if you're going to Sandringham or anywhere else local, definitely worth somewhere to stop off at. Again, here's fighting up these big stairs, trying to go as quick as possible. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else. There was ruins of an old chapel in here as well. These rooms I'm trying to speed down pretty quick because it was just a bit creepy. I'll say that was part of the upper chambers. What else? Straight back down the hallway. Down the stairs quick as can be. It astounds me, these stairs in these properties. Their feet must have been super tiny, or just they're really good at balancing loads of trays and everything with the tiny stairs. Just don't know how they do it. Back down. Excuse the cat. And back out down the gate. Outside the property you can see the mounds. I didn't quite, it was starting to chuck it down, so I didn't quite go down and check that bit out, but I'm sure it said something about some Norman, that might have been the Norman Manor actually, I'm not 100% sure. I should really do my research a bit more before doing the audio on this, but yeah, it was, as you see, a really nice little castle, and it's really well kept. And English Heritage, well done for them for keeping it maintained